Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the collective. Um, for those of you who are drawn to come in for this message, welcome. So, I'm coming on to discuss with you all a dream that I had. Yes, I had another dream. Um, and, well, I was going to mention the fast that we're on, but I'm going to talk about that with you all in the next reading. But in this particular dream, I was actually outside, okay? I was outside and I ended up walking up to this garden. Apparently, I was very familiar with this garden, but this garden was like a big maze, okay? It was perfectly trimmed so you could tell that it was well kept, and it had like these big beautiful pathways where you could just kind of walk through. But apparently not a lot of people visited this garden, but I was very familiar with it, okay? So it was one big maze. So I knew where I was going, but I ended up passing by this man, and he looked at me. We caught eye contact, but I kept going. And I can hear him speaking to a woman behind me. A woman must have came up and started talking to him. And she was like, no, he said to her, he was like, I really want to talk to her. And she was like, well, that's a goddess. You need to go and get her. You don't just let a goddess pass you by. You need to go and get her. And so I just kept going, taking my stroll throughout this maze, this garden. And we ended up somehow meeting. I don't know how the hell he found me in this garden, but we ended up meeting with one another. And when we connected, we was at a loss for words. Like, we didn't know what to say. So we didn't say anything. I think we just kind of telepathically spoke with one another, but we didn't say anything. And he ended up giving me a kiss. Okay, that's the only thing that went on in that garden. He ended up giving me a kiss. And so we left out of the garden, and we ended up at this huge building, okay? I don't even know what kind of building it was, but there was a lot of rooms in this building. And as soon as we walked in, I felt a really eerie feeling like, okay, something is getting ready to go down. And I'm telling y'all, it went down because we heard, all of a sudden, both of us heard these loud howling sounds like you would hear in some sort of zombie movie when you hear the zombie apocalypse or whatever you say it coming in, okay? And so it was like the sound of, ooh. So we looked at each other like, oh shit, it's getting ready to go down. We walked in a little bit further, and these huge giants came out, like huge giants. They had to be about 10 feet tall, if not taller. And they started, first of all, we gave them a little chase, and we ended up in the kitchen area of this huge building. These giants, I ended up standing, like, we had to fight them all together, okay? It was like Bonnie and Clyde was going down up in there. So it was many of these giants. One of them, I remember standing in front of him, and he had this huge, like, machete type of knife. And he was twirling it around. He had all these tricks and was showing me that he knew how to use this thing. And I never got afraid of them. At no point did I get afraid, but I was a little skeptical. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I was a little skeptical, like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to tackle this one, but I was never afraid. And so while he's standing up there doing all of that, I remember just circling around him. I grabbed one of the knives. I think we led him to the kitchen because we knew we would have access to weapons. And I ended up stabbing him in his back, and he fell real hard. We slayed all of these damn giants. There was one standing. There was one giant left standing, and that giant stood back like he said, I don't want no smoke. He was standing over on the side eating, okay? So we let that giant live. And then I woke up. Now, y'all know I don't watch TV by now. These dreams, they just come in, and it's like, okay, where's this stuff coming from? But apparently, when I'm traveling in the spiritual realm, I'm going various places, and it's just taking me to show me different things. And I mean, hey, I'm bringing these dreams forward, and we always somehow get a message. So I feel like I need to address this with the divine masculine and feminine, just because of how myself and this masculine connected in the garden. Starting out in this very serene and peaceful environment, and just knowing that we were meant for one another. It was unspoken. It was something where no words needed to be spoken. It was just understood. And then we ended up in all of this chaos where all of these giants all of a sudden came out to attack us. So I saw it, when I thought about it, it was like the divine masculine and feminine are coming together in 2022, which is all about bringing that balance, restoring balance in the universe. masculine and feminine energies coming together. And so there's opposition to that, okay? Obviously, the enemy does not want that to happen. These lower level entities does not want to see love being the dominant energy of the universe, okay? When you have these divine unions coming together, it's a very powerful connection and one that is of great purpose, okay? And it's very high vibrational in energy because you got these two souls that are connecting, but they have healed. They've gone through the trenches. They know who they are. They stepped into their power. And so when they come together, every facet of the relationship is just, it's like fireworks, okay? Not saying that it's perfect, but it's far different from any relationship that you might have attracted to you before you was healed, before you awakened, before you stepped into your God or your goddess nature, okay? And so me and this masculine, we connected, we recognized one another on a soul level, and then we had to face the giants. And it's like these giants, even though they were huge in stature, and I feel like that's almost like saying these giants were, another way of interpreting it is being like these giants are people who are in positions of power, okay? So-called power and authority could be a representation of the giants. But these giants, they was huge in stature, but they still felt the need to bring a weapon. They still felt the need to try to intimidate using a weapon. Why would a giant that's standing 10, 11 feet tall need to use a weapon against average sized people? Even a man that's 6'7" would still be much shorter than a giant that's 10 feet tall. And so that lets you know the fact that they needed to still bring on extra measures to try to intimidate, that they understood that we came in fearless off the break. And they were the ones that was actually afraid. And so they needed to, it's almost like those animals. You'll find that a lot of smaller animals, whenever they feel intimidated by another animal that's trying to attack them, they'll stretch their bodies out to make themselves look bigger in order to intimidate the predator, okay? And so I feel like that's what the giants was trying to do towards us. It was like they knew that we was fearless. They knew that we had healed from fear and that we was going to stand up and fight them. But in their fear, they tried to use intimidation tactics in hopes that it's almost like if we buckled in fear, they would have been able to take us out easily. So they understood that part was, it's like fear is the greatest weapon that the enemy can actually possess over anyone for that matter, okay? But when it comes to these divine unions, this could represent people, family members, friends, people that you might have had to walk away from that might try to stand up against or be in opposition to you coming into union with your divine partnership. So let me just see. I just want to see what comes out in regards to what this means. Okay, so the first card coming out is the Rebel. Okay, so breaking free from some chains here. And so I do feel that this actually came out in my last reading when I was speaking directly to the divine feminine. But it's definitely an energy of having to set yourself free from chains that, it's like this energy that wants to keep you stuck so that you are not able to connect with your divine union. Yeah, look at this, stress. So it's almost like that energy of attracting this type of energy to you. Okay, because that's what I feel like this will represent the giants, attracting this stressful type of energy to you where you feel like you have so much that you have to juggle. You know that you are setting yourself free, okay? Because I feel like those who have awakened and understand what this thing is really all about, you understand the importance of not staying chained and bound, okay? Because when you stay chained and bound, you continue to take the beatings. You continue to take the painful lessons, okay? And so it's like breaking free. You feel that urge to let go and to free yourself, so you go ahead and you follow that urge. You don't resist it, but there's energies around you that wants to cause stress in the process of you breaking free. So it's like you break free of these chains, and then here comes these lower level energies that wants to cause chaos, whether it's in your mind, mentally, spiritually, physically, whatever the case may be. There is this little monkey that's right here that wants to bring chaos and turmoil, okay? So let's see what else is coming out. So we have here innocence, and then we have intensity. So things are moving fast, okay? I feel like things are getting ready to pick up very fast in terms of your spiritual development, okay? For the divine masculine and feminine, your spiritual development is moving forward with intensity. We all know that we just came out of the age of Pisces and we're now in the age of Aquarius. And so being in the age of Aquarius, this is the time of gaining a lot of information. This is the information age. This is the time where you seek and you gain answers. This is the time where all of those things that was hidden have to be revealed. Secret societies, all of that stuff has to come forward. And so I feel like you've gained a lot of mental clarity in regards to what was keeping you chained. Okay, what chains needed to actually be broken. You understand that now. And so with intensity, you are moving forward. You are moving ahead. But there's this energy of people wanting to bring stress into your life so that you do not stay focused in on the goal. Okay? So that you do not stay focused in on the path. But I feel like you're moving out of this energy. And with this innocence card coming out, it's like you're seeing life from a totally different set of eyes. You don't see things the way that you used to see them. Your perception is totally different. And this card is like an old person who's full of wisdom, but they still have this innocence where they're exploring and discovering all over again. So it's like that inner child is being healed to the point where you're now able to see things and experience things from a totally new vision, okay? So let's see what else is coming out here. Yeah, listening to that inner voice. I do see that there is a lot of mental clarity that's coming in terms of going with your intuition. Your intuition is telling you that you have needed to break free from some things for a while, okay? And so I feel like you've been doing that. You have here no thingness, and at the bottom of the deck you have the Lovers. So yeah, I feel like you've been called to really clear your mind of all of the mental chaos and the turmoil and drama so that you're able to go within and listen to that inner voice that tells you it's time to release yourself. It's time to shift your perspective. See life from a different set of eyes. Use that wisdom to shape this new vision. And with intensity, you're being catapulted away from this stressful situation and going towards your divine partnerships. So it's like, yeah, I forgot to show y'all this one. This card says no thingness. So this is about creating that blank space, that blank canvas for yourself, okay? So that you can then create a new vision, a new way of perceiving yourself, others, the world around you. Creating that blank space, like right now, many of you are doing the fast with me, okay? Mine is over tomorrow. But many of you have begun doing the 3-day fast or however long you felt called to do it. And so this is all about purifying. And, you know, as I tell you all, you set your intentions with the fast, and you don't just fast without setting your intentions. You set your intentions. And so me personally, mine has been to purify my vessel of all mental chaos or, you know, anything that does not serve me and my highest good. And so it's like you're purifying your energy so that you can really hear, very clearly hear those voices that are coming from within, or that voice that is within that tells you it's time to break free of something, to break the chains of something. So this could literally be how you perceive love. This could be breaking yourself free of chains that, you know, in terms of how you perceive life in general. Are you expressing gratitude? Are you exploring and experiencing life? Okay. Are you experiencing those things that you used to take for granted, and finding excitement in exploring these things, even though you've seen them all of your life? You never really took the time out to appreciate them. Are you doing that? So this is like creating that space for yourself. Let me see what else is coming out. Okay, we have the Lovers here. So the Lovers is that energy of the divine masculine and feminine coming together and making that deep soul connection. I feel like things are getting ready to pick up. Like it's getting ready to pick up in terms of this forward movement towards these divine partnerships. But there is an energy that wants to stop it from happening. So whether the giants are internal or whether it's actually external to you in terms of people around you or certain lower level entities that do not want to see these connections come in, there's always opposition to anything that brings light, okay? Darkness does not want to be swallowed up in the light, okay? Because that's just how it works, okay? That polarity to everything. Those lower level entities want to be able to stay in a position of power, but the more people awaken and the more healing that we do, the less power they have until ultimately they lose their power and the head becomes the tail, and that's just how it works, okay? And so I feel like you're moving into this space of completion, okay? It's a lot of things that you wasn't able to see before, but this is like right around the third eye chakra. So being able to see things very clearly, and now just being patient for these seeds that you have planted to come into fruition, being patient for these cycles to play themselves out, for the seasons to pass, and doing what's necessary to stay emotionally balanced in spite of external factors that want to try to cause stress. Or like I said, that could be internal, where you're just needing to release these things and accept the fact that you breaking the chains has not been in vain. You setting yourself free has not been in vain. You are moving towards your divine partnership, many of you, but you're needing to stay in a space where you don't get off focus. Don't lose track of the path. Continuing to have appreciation for life and those things that are being shown to you, okay? Going within, doing the work to stay balanced. Okay, so yeah, look at this. We have trust. So that's all about surrendering. You know, she has her hands out, surrendering, resisting control, and just trusting that everything is going to be okay, okay? Regardless of, you know, just allowing yourself to fly, okay? Everything is going to be okay. This is the same analogy. You know, these two cards came out together, the Fool and Trust. So the Fool takes the leap of faith courageously and fearlessly. So I feel like with this card too, Trust and the Fool, it's like even though those giants was there to try to stop the divine unions from coming together, we still had faith. We still trusted the fact that we was going to come out on top, okay? And we did, okay? In spite of how big they thought they were, how intimidating they thought they were, we still came out on top because we never stopped looking up, okay? We never looked down, because looking down makes you overly focused in on the worst case scenario. Looking down makes you overly focused on the worst case scenario. But when you look up, you're focused on the infinite possibilities, okay? And so this is why the Fool looks up when they take this leap of faith. They're focused on the infinite possibilities, because up here is never ending. It's infinite possibilities that exist looking up. But looking down, there's a cutoff point. There's that ground. There's some rocks. There's some trees. Looking up, infinite possibilities. And in those possibilities, it allows you to trust the process and trust that everything is going to be okay, in spite of the fact that you have these monkeys, these giants, these stressors, these, you know, whatever it is that's trying to come in that wants to creep back in to disrupt that. You do not allow it to throw you off course, okay? To be patient with the process of growth. Look at this. There's those giants right there. Look at that. There's those giants right there trying to come in. You got, this one says the burden, okay? So they stumbling over one another trying to get to you. This is that energy of them. They see you moving forward, okay? They see you moving forward. And see, the problem that they have is that you're moving forward so fast. These divine unions are coming in together so fast that people are feeling like, you know, they're watching you, but they know they can't catch you though, okay? That's what this energy is. They see you moving. They see you growing. They see you progressing in your spiritual path. You've already broken the chains, okay? They're watching you change and transform right before their eyes. And the only thing that they can do is try to cause stumbling blocks from a distance, because they can't catch you. You moving towards the light. You see what I'm saying? But if you stayed in this energy of darkness, then that's where they have a place to hover and dwell. Because that's all they do. They surround themselves in darkness. You can see the dark clouds up there. That's what they do. They surround themselves in lower level energy. And so you have the burden that wants to come in and stop you. This card guilt is here, okay? And so this could be, it could be people around you that's trying to create burdens for you or stumbling blocks to throw you off course, or it could literally be your internal, you fighting within yourself internally, feeling guilty about releasing yourself from certain people, breaking chains from certain things, okay? You could have been in that energy. You could be coming out of that energy, or you could be sitting in this energy where things are getting ready to move forward. You're not going to stay in this for long, but this is where you have to shift your thoughts. This is where you have to not focus in on negative outcomes, the potential negative outcomes, but focus in on the infinite positive outcomes, okay? And know that your mind, remember that your mind creates things. And so if you get stuck in this energy of guilt or shame or regret, then that's when they're able to come in. These lower level entities are able to come in and, you know, claw away at your mind to the point where it takes you right back into that dark energy, which is something that you don't want to stay in, because with intensity, you're moving up out of that. And so I feel like that's what those giants represented. The divine masculine and feminine may be connecting on a spiritual level, okay? Because we're spirits having a human experience. So we may be connecting even telepathically on a spiritual level, where we know that our divine partner is out there. We feel them, okay? We sense that they are healing. We sense that they are getting prepared to come into union. But then there's that energy of maybe, well, it's taken so long, you know, with the patience card coming out. It could be that energy of, you know, where you just have random people in your life that's just trying to bring up stress, that's trying to cause problems for you. And it throws you off course in terms of just staying focused on your healing and staying focused on your growing. Or like I said, this could be guilt coming in from releasing yourself from certain, you know, people, places, or things. And it's trying to create this scenario within your mind to get you thrown off track. Because once you're off track, then you're not ready for your divine partnership. Okay? Because then that means you still got work to do. But once you are able to focus, in spite of what might come your way, you're still able to stay in alignment. You're still able to get yourself back on track. Because I'm not saying you stay perfect forever. But what I'm saying is you do not allow this type of energy to be your dominant thoughts or to be your dominant feelings. You do not allow this type of energy to come in to bring fear or to bring any negative thoughts that's going to take you backwards. You don't stay in that energy for long. Yes, we all have our moments where we don't feel the greatest. We don't feel at our highest, you know, because it's that ebb and flow. But you want to make sure that you're conscious of that. Be very conscious of the types of thoughts that you're having, the type of things that you're saying, the type of feelings that you're feeling. Know why you're feeling them and be prepared to do what's necessary to address them and to heal, rather than sitting in it. You don't want to sit in it, because that's when these types of the burden, that's when they come in and they're able to take over your energy. So again, if we had in my dream with those giants being there, if myself and my divine partner had buckled in fear, they would have been able to easily overtake us, because we would have been overly focused in on the worst case scenario. Oh, these giants, they're huge. They got these big machetes. Look at how he knows how to use that knife. What am I going to do? It's too many of them. They would have easily been able to overtake us. But because we went and we approached it fearlessly, knowing that we was going to come out unscathed on the other side, that's exactly what ultimately happened. And so this could be you and your divine masculine individually, on an individual scale, fighting off giants that are trying to prevent the union from coming together. Or in the spiritual realm, the two of you can literally be slaying giants together, okay, in order to bring this union together. So I'm going to pull one more card, y'all, from this deck, and then I'm going to pull for some advice, and then I'm going to close out. Okay, so we have the miser here. The miser. So this is that energy of someone wanting to, there's a selfish energy that wants to have it all, okay? The miser is very bitter, but wants to keep everything for themselves. And so this could, you know, again, be people around you that might want to hold on to you. They want to hold on to your energy because they see you as being the gift. And they know that you have broken free. They know that you have become a totally different person. You see life from a totally new set of eyes. And some of these people that have held on to you for selfish reasons are trying to send an energy of guilt your way, whether they're actually saying things to you or they're just putting that energy out there of victim, you know, that victimhood type of energy, okay? But you don't allow that to hold you back from breaking those chains, because you see it from a spiritual perspective and you rise high above it to see it from its true nature, okay? You don't look at things from the surface. So let me just see what advice I can give y'all. Okay, so this card says triumph, okay? So this is all about standing your ground. This is all about standing your ground. I believe this is the Seven of Wands. So this is standing your ground, fighting off all opposition, moving forward courageously and triumphantly, knowing that you will be victorious, okay? So you don't let anybody stop you from taking this path. The number 7 is a number of spirituality. You don't let anybody stop you because, oh my goodness, now that I'm looking at it, there's a lot of number 7s out here. I personally, I'm a life path number 7. But yeah, we got 3 number 7s out here. So this is the number 7 right here. It's about being patient with the process, this growth process, knowing that something beautiful is being born from within you. Okay. Then you have another number 7 here. This is about that stress. So trying to cause stress on your spiritual path. Okay. Somebody is here trying to burst your bubble, trying to bring a lot of stressors in your life. And then you have this number 7 here. So 777. You might be seeing that as a synchronistic number. But I do see this as being more of a spiritual thing. Now that I'm looking at it, I feel like it's more of a spiritual battle that many of the divine feminine and divine masculine have been going through in terms of emotionally, mentally, in terms of our thoughts. And this is why you have this card here of just clearing your mind out, creating that blank space so that you can hear that inner voice, okay? Because when you got too much clutter, you can't hear. So I feel like the fast has been really good for the divine feminine, because purifying your vessel physically, it has a spiritual, you know, everything has a mirror in a spiritual realm to what's happening in the physical. So physically, you purify your vessel. Spiritually, you're also purifying your spiritual nature, which allows you to be more receptive to the messages that are coming through. So let me pull one more. You have here embracing. So this is almost the same thing as this innocence card. Just embracing the moment. Staying in the now is very important. You know, not being overly focused on where things are going to go. Definitely not being overly focused on the past, but just staying in the now and experiencing moment for moment, okay? Embracing moment for moment, okay? And in this energy, you're creating a beautiful energy that's just allowing you to just be. Just be. Okay, let me see. I got a lot of cards that came out, and then I'm just gonna I'm gonna close out. So yeah, third eye chakra is the same thing as this inner voice. So listening to that voice within, hearing those intuitive messages is very important for us right now. Then you have the waiting game, being patient. There's another card that same thing as this one right here. Okay, patience. Be patient with these unions coming together, because they are going to come together. There's a seed that's been planted, and it is growing. So you have to be patient with the growth process. That's the same analogy. There's a seed that's been planted, and it is growing, okay? So the waiting game. Then you have temptation. This will be that devil energy that wants to creep in, those giants that wants to come in to bring that stress, to bring that drama, to bring that the guilt, okay? That wants to bring in that energy of fear, or feeling tied down, feeling as if you can't break the chain. That's that energy that wants to keep you, that wants to hold you, that wants to keep you to themselves, okay? Because they see that you're valuable, but they don't want to give anything. They're very bitter, okay? That temptation to stay stuck in fear. Don't allow it to overcome you, okay? You courageously and boldly push through the fear, and you allow yourself to move forward in spite of. So then you have here openness. So yeah, openness is all about clearing out all of those clouds, clearing out all of that, those unnecessary thoughts that's not taking you, that's not serving your highest good, clearing all of that out, all of that all of the darkness, any toxicity, and allowing yourself to be open to the messages that are coming in. And this is a full moon. We do have the full moon approaching on the 17th. I believe it's the Cancer full moon that's approaching on the 17th. And so allowing yourself to clear your mind, because the full moons can be very intense. Anytime we have a full moon, that actually raises the tides of the water. So that being that we are comprised of about 65 to 70% water, it also raises our internal tides on a mental level and on a physical level. Okay. And so spiritually and mentally, it can make you more emotional, because I can say that I've been more emotional these past couple of days. And so now that I think about it, the Cancer sign is actually about going within, searching those deep emotions that you have within. And so it can bring about a lot more emotion. And so maybe that's what the giants are, fighting off any of those overwhelming emotions that might come up, allowing them to come up, because obviously it's something that needs to be addressed, but freeing yourself from it. Don't stay chained to it. Don't sit in it. So that's what I got for y'all. I love you all. If you want a private reading from me, you can always email me. And thank you all for the donations. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. And I'll talk to you all next time.